Hello and welcome to another Age of Empires 4 Civilization Showcase. This week we're taking a look at the French and the Chinese. I'm Zach Robinson, you may also know me as ZeroEmpires, and joining me today,
Eric Wrobel. We are on the balance team and we've got a very exciting match between the French and the Chinese.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. The map today is Mongolian Heights, and we've seen a couple of maps so far. We've seen Arabia, we've seen Mountain Pass. This map is the first map to feature a little bit of water. We've got a river running through the middle of the map here, and there's 3 crossing points. The shallows along the way, which may be contested, we'll see. Worth noting you can wall across these. And yeah, looking forward to this game, seeing what we have in store. Let's take a look at the Chinese here. The red player, Mike, he's going to be playing as the Chinese over to the right side of the map. Give us a bit of information about the Chinese.
So, quick overview. The main themes of the Civ are gunpowder and defensive construction. So all of their buildings build faster than any other civilization. So you can see this lumber mill, look at the progress bar just shooting up there, right? It's a hard worker. So all their buildings are double production speed. So they can really crank out the buildings. And then the other thing about the building, though, is for balance purposes, we sort of basically have made that bonus apply less for keeps, because we found that you could just run up to an enemy's base and drop a keep at double speed. There's just like, you couldn't do anything. You're just keeping your base now, right?
No more doubt castles.
Yeah. So another thing you'll see right here is he's just built the Imperial Official. So this is an option from the very beginning of the game at your town center. You can choose if you want to build villagers or if you want to build the Imperial Official. So it is, an opportunity cost because you have one less villager, but he's very powerful and he is definitely worth it. So you've seen he's already out here on the field, and the supervise ability is quite interesting. So not only does he make the building produce much, much faster, they also get more resources for anything that gets dropped off. So this is really cool on the mill here because all of these workers are getting extra food dropped off at the mill, and also any tech that you research at the mill, like some really cool early economic stuff. You see,
Wheelbarrow,
he's
already done.
Yeah, already did it.
Finished it,
yeah.
Completed it.
Yeah, all set. Good to go.
Yeah, and they're dropping off 18 food per trip now, so they're more efficient as a result, and they're getting extra food on top. And whoa, Mike coming back with a large shipment of sheep to deposit at this mill. On the other side of the map, down to the southwest, we have Frank. He's playing in the blue, and he's playing as the French. He also has a lot of sheep.
Mongolian Heights,
focus,
right?
Yeah, of course. Now, the French are a really strong cavalry civilization. That's the main theme. If you're familiar with the Franks in Age 2 or the French in Age 3, it's a theme that runs strong throughout the franchise. No different here. They are one of 2 civilizations that can build knights in the feudal age, but the French get the special royal knight, and that has a bonus damage after completing a charge, and it has some special unique upgrades which can apply to it later on in the game. The French are also very versatile economically, especially in the early game. Their town centers work faster. They train villagers in just 18 seconds, so they're always getting ahead with that early eco.
Wow.
So many sheep. He's got so many sheep. That's awesome. But also, on top of that, their eco-techs are cheaper as well, and later in the game, once they build keeps, they're able to position their unit buildings around the keeps to get cheaper production. So economically, the French always getting ahead, whether or not they mean to. They sort of have these advantages that really help them throughout the game. But in the middle of the map, I'm seeing some crazy stuff already, Eric. We've got the Barbican of the Sun being dropped in the middle here, and the villager pull.
There's a couple of reasons. As the Chinese, you're building things faster, so that's part of the reason he thinks he can. There's a battle against the sheep. Run, sheep, run! And he got it up. So the Barbican is a great building to get here because it's basically like a mega outpost, right? So it's got a nice large area. It's able to shoot like a pretty powerful cannon at anything in the area. And we were looking earlier at this map. There's only 3 crossings, right? So having this in the center of the map is a really focal control point and makes it a lot easier for you to attack the enemy, and if they want to hit you, you have a very nice, powerful defensive structure there.
Yeah, the center of the map here, like the most easy path to get to your enemy, he's got this here, and it's marked as a defensive landmark, but I've seen this used plenty offensively as well, which is really fun. I like that Frank was trying to contest that, but he did have to go back. As you said, the Chinese faster construction really helps. It helps with aging up to the next age as well. And you know, one thing here about the Chinese that is unique, of course, is that they can build both landmarks.
Yeah,
that's a really key difference. But let's talk about that later, because Frank has just reached the feudal age as well. He's gone up with the School of Cavalry. This is his landmark, which allows all of his stables to produce 20% faster, which is... Woo. Synergizes great with the fact that he can train the Royal Knight.
Yeah, it's already faster immediately, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the scaling throughout the game is really nice too, because all your stables the whole game.
Yeah,
right?
it's like it's permanent, right?
Yeah,
that's awesome. Even if the landmark, well, actually, the landmark is destroyed, it shouldn't apply. But,
yeah. You can repair it though. That's
of course.
So, yeah.
Landmarks are forever.
Just like diamonds.
Royal Knight's coming out here, and you may have noticed he also has Chivalry, which is one of those unique techs we spoke about. This allows the Royal Knights to regen over time. So they really make for great hit and run units. You can run in, get the charge bonus, do the damage, the shock, and then get out and then heal up as well. Which
I love that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Coming out to the top side, looks like Mike is walling up, so maybe we have a bit of an opportunity to talk about dynasties.
Yeah, so Zach had mentioned, you can build both landmarks in all of the ages, and when you create the second landmark, you enter a dynasty, and you start in a dynasty as well. So the early dynasty is giving you scouting bonuses, and then as you progress, the bonuses are kind of like thematic to kind of things you want to be doing later in the game. So the second dynasty gives you villager production bonuses. You build your villagers much faster, and you also get a unique building, the village, which gives you a ton of population.
40.
Yeah, 40.
It's 4 houses.
Yeah, it's 4 houses in
for
one.
100 wood.
Yeah, and you can build it in half the time too, right? So it's only 15 seconds for that. Yeah. So not only is it just a great deal, but it also is a garrisonable building. So you can pop your guys in there to hide them.
Oh, Eric, I'm going to have to cut you off. I'm sorry. This is awesome. Frank, he's built a sneaky dock right at the top of the map, a transport ship, and he's over. And you know, Mike's like, yeah, you know what? I'm safe. I'm walled. I've got the Barbican in the middle of the map. And Frank's like, no. I don't think so, buddy. It's actually sent a villager as well. So he's dropping a stable up here. The Royal Knights are in. This could be really bad for Mike. He's not expecting this.
He has no units, right?
Yeah.
He was...
Oh, look at that villager.
There
absolutely wrecked.
There goes. I like his feet went flying in the air when he got charged.
That was awesome. But, you know, this is almost like, you know, he knew that Frank's a cavalry civ. It's almost like he's ready for cavalry anyway. He's already got 2 barracks.
Yeah, very nice. Well prepared.
Yeah, and he's scouted in the top as well. He's pulling the villagers over. Do you think he's going to torch this, or is it too risky that a knight
It's too risky with the knights, certainly. So it looks like he's trying to retreat up there.
Away.
And I think he saw those knights coming.
Walling the gap, and maybe hiding in the stealth, who knows. Wow, this
those
is really
knights are
fun.
coming, the knights are coming. Oh, build the wall.
All right, well, I guess these villagers are going to have to find maybe chop some wood here. I don't know.
All right. They've created a new home for themselves. The knights, they're trying to look, they're like, where'd those villagers go?
They can't get in.
No, I don't think so. They're stuck out.
I mean, that is still 8 idle villagers, though. That's
that
huge.
is a good. And they're okay. So they're throwing the torches. They're trying to get in, but that many cavalry is not gonna get you through a wall when you have 8 villagers that can repair, right?
They'll repair, yeah. Okay, this is kind of chaotic. I thought we'd have time to talk about the civs, but apparently not. Oh, he's using the spearmen to torch down the stables and trying to make a run for it with the villagers.
Get out, run away!
Oh no!
Oh, okay, he lost one.
That's actually not too bad.
Yeah,
and wow, he's really confident in the spearmen here.
He just went right back down to collecting resources. That is bold.
More spearmen coming over, and I think this might be short-lived for Frank. By the looks of things, he's going to get cleaned up.
Spearmen are taken care of. Oh, look at him just pasting all those knights. And now he's going to town with the torches.
Yeah, and as we said before, the spearmen get a huge bonus against cavalry. And I think all Frank can do now is maybe, build the tower. He can put the knights in to get some extra damage.
Yeah, each one gives you an arrow. This is actually working out pretty well. He's about to kill that villager, right?
Yeah.
One more shot. He's
gonna get it.
Oh, nice. Got him.
Oh, and look, the chivalry check is done.
The knight is healing. Very nice, very nice.
The knight is healing in the hold, but I don't think he's going to last much longer as that gets burned down here. And yeah, I think Mike responded to that very well. I think that could have gone a lot worse than it did, to be honest.
I like his response. The knight popped out of the tower, right?
Yeah.
And all the spearmen immediately switched targets to attack the knight, deal bonus damage. He got right on that knight and killed that too, protected his villager. Oh, what a hold.
Yeah, that's awesome. And now he's got a lot of spearmen, and I wonder if this could work to Frank's advantage, right? He knows he's invested heavily in spearmen. Now maybe Frank thinks about maybe producing the counter unit.
Yeah.
It would be a bit futile to just send more knights into that.
Oh yeah, you're not getting anything done. An archer switch though would be really strong now.
Yeah,
totally.
An archer switch could be great, and Frank's also taking the time while he's got Mike on the back foot to wall up. Can we get back to the dynasty thing though? Because that was cool.
Okay. There was some really good action we had to go over. But yeah, great hold there by Mike, and for the dynasties that he may be considering. Mm-hmm. There's a bonus that you get, a unique bonus. There's a unique building that we talked about, the village.
Yep.
And then you actually get a third thing as well, which is you unlock a dynasty unit.
Yeah.
And you can only build that unit while you're in the dynasty, but they're very powerful. So the first dynasty, the unit is the repeater crossbowman.
Yeah.
And he's quite good early game because he fires like a rapid fire set of arrow bolts, I guess you could say. And they're low damage, but there's a lot of them. So they're really good at anything that's unarmored. So archers and spearmen, which you see a lot of early on, they do quite well against. And then if the enemy has knights or man-at-arms, those are armored guys, so they mitigate a ton of the damage, so it's not very good. Yeah. So I'm not expecting in this particular matchup that we would see the repeater crossbowman because of the access to early knights.
Yeah, and the dynasties are awesome because as you progress through the game, the dynasties get a little stronger as well. They give you that versatility. That you also get to build both landmarks. So your potential power level is so high at the end. And the final dynasty, Ming, which who knows if we'll get there this game, but Ming gives you all your military units more health. So it's like the ultimate final dynasty, let's go, ready to go.
And the landmarks kind of synergize too with the whole unique units because you lose access to the units. So you could build the repeater crossbowman, and then if you go to Ming, you no longer have access to that repeater, but we have a landmark in Age 4 that unlocks all the previous dynasty units. So if you had gotten access to it before, you can go back and get it again.
Frank now, he's just actually reached the castle age. Whoa. And I'm surprised Mike didn't push out an attack. He's got free and easy access to Frank's side of the map through the center, but he's holding off. But now is a good time to attack because Age 3's just come in. He's invested all his resources. And Frank has made switching to Arbaleteer. Excuse the pronunciation.
I thought that was spot on. It sounded fantastic.
This is another unique unit to the French. It is a crossbowman, and they have the unique Pervice ability, which gives them 5 ranged armor when deployed. This is really cool, actually, and he actually went up with the Guildhall upgrade. Let's talk about that in a minute, because I think we've got a big fight coming in. Can Frank hold this?
Look at all those torches.
That's going to be so much damage. I mean, there are the Arbaleteer at the back doing some good damage.
I like that he's repairing it, though. He's slowing it down, and the spearmen are just getting wailed on here, right? Like, he doesn't have a real good way to deal with these crossbows, right? And they can just kind of kite him if they go back, so...
And what does killing this landmark really give Mike right now? Because he's not really too worried about cavalry anyway,
no
right?
Cavalry can attack me, right?
Yeah. Although it is part of a victory condition, destroy all the landmarks to win the game. But realistically, does he get to destroy all 3 landmarks now? He's retreating, so maybe not.
Yeah, his army's not big enough because a bunch of villagers were garrisoning the town center, so they were shooting a bunch. All these Arbaleteers, Latrers, were shooting. So yeah, spearmen are just not a very effective unit against ranged stuff, basically.
Yeah, I mean they've held the line for now. These units aren't particularly strong against like light units typically. Like the crossbowman is really geared towards being good against cavalry, like heavy cavalry and men at arms. But the fact that they're ranged, the fact that they have the protection of the town center is enough for now. Guildhall, this was his age 3 landmark. This is really cool. Like, so, man, I love this landmark. It's so cool.
It's really fun.
Like, basically, you get to select which of the 4 resources you want to generate. So you can generate food, wood, gold, or stone. And it passively builds up a bank inside of the building, and it's ready to collect whenever you like. So the longer you leave it, however, the more resources it will accrue and the faster it will start to accrue them. So if you leave it for like a couple of minutes, it's going to be generating resources a lot faster than it is when you initially switch to a new resource.
Because it starts off, it's only giving you like 20 at a time or something, right?
So it's kind of like the longer you wait, the bigger the reward.
Yeah.
But the value of this landmark is entirely linked to actually collecting those resources. And you can see he just did it there. He collected the gold, he switched it over to stone, and now he's got a little bit of a gold boost, but he's going to start generating stone passively.
Look at his gold. It really makes sense that he switched over to stone there, right? Because he has a huge amount of gold now.
Man, I love that he's going for the Arbaletier, though. I wonder what his game plan is here. Mike is entirely going into Spearman. But that said, I do see some Palace Guard at the back. This is one of the unique units for the Chinese as well. The Chinese have a lot of unique units,
they actually.
Have a lot, come to think of it.
They have like the Dynasty units, they have this, the Nest of Bees as well. They have quite a few unique units.
Yeah.
And the Palace... Excuse me. The Palace Guard is quite cool because it's their spin on the normal man-at-arms unit, but it's quite a bit different in the same way that like the English longbow has sort of like advantages and disadvantages. This unit here, the Palace Guard, it has less armor than a normal man-at-arms, so it's actually a little bit weaker in that case, but it makes up for it in movement speed. Yeah. These guys truck. They are fast.
So fast. Yeah. And you feel that immediately when you're using this. It's like, oh, I've got the tankiness of a man-at-arms, but I'm like that much faster as well.
Oh, yeah. Great raiding unit. It can position very quickly. Yeah, it's really fun to use.
Oh, and speaking of Nest of Bees, Mike actually went to the Castle Age here with the astronomical clock tower. This creates the unique clock tower variants of the core siege units. Core except for the Nest of Bees.
Right. So it's basically a super siege workshop, basically, where it produces everything your siege workshop can do normally and 50% extra health on your siege engines, which they have a lot of health. So 50% bonus on top of that is quite nice.
Yeah. And here we see the clock tower Nest of Bees. This is kind of infamous, I think, after the stress test and the close beta.
Oh, you're killing me.
But, oh my goodness, on the water we've got a Galleass as well. Okay, I think things are about to get pretty intense
It's
here.
heating up,
Yeah.
it's heating up, definitely.
Let's talk about the Nest of Bees.
So, it's kind of a replacement for the Mangonel, so it's really good against masses of troops. And we're seeing actually the Pavise here used by the French player, so it's taking reduced damage from the Barbican shots.
And this is so smart. He's doing this because he wants to tank for his boats.
Yeah.
Right? Because arrows from holds get bonus damage against boats.
A lot. Yeah, they hit really hard.
They really hit. And he's got 10 units in there, so he's firing 10 arrows plus the cannon. So he's tanking with his Arbaletier while he repairs his boat with a villager. And then he uses the Galleass, which is a unique French ship, to actually siege the landmark.
Because it does a lot of damage.
120 bombard. He doesn't get a bonus, but it's enough to actually lay into this. And Mike's like, hang on a minute. What's going on? I don't know what
are you doing? Where do these boats come from?
This is awesome. What an awesome game. This is so smart by Frank, though. Like, this is really intelligent play. And he's actually going to take this out by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks... So he does have these Nest of Bees, though. Yeah. And Nest of Bees are very good against masses of infantry. So if he can position them correctly, he could really do a number on these Arbaletiers.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
But the boats are kind of like they have a really nice synergy between the two units, right?
Shoot, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's really a good point because they have such high range.
Yeah.
They could potentially just snipe the Nest of Bees.
He's dropping a keep. He's dropping a keep. He's got to fight. He's got to fight.
He has to. He has no choice. Let's see if
Look
he
at all
can
the
use
torches,
the boats
though.
to get onto the mountain.
Oh, Nest of Bees on the villagers. Oh,
they're getting wiped out. Oh my goodness. Oh, is that a demo ship? He's actually bringing a demo ship.
Demo ship.
Oh no!
Run! Oh! His whole army.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Wow. Oh, the Barbican. Is the Barbican still alive? I think it's
Yeah, he
it's still
garrisoned
alive.
a couple guys in there.
He's
protected
using the
from the
Gallias
demo
to
ship.
take down the clock tower nest of bees here, but he's so thankful to have the extra health.
Yeah,
a little bit of
yeah.
extra tankiness.
And they're doing really good. They got a nice volley on the Arbaletiers. Did a ton of damage. But now the Galliasses have moved forward and they're attacking the nest of bees. Oh, they just finished off the Barbican.
Wow. This is incredible. I'm loving this. This is awesome. Yeah, and the keep is up as well. He finished the keep, so that
Look
means
at the
that
keep.
Mike has to go back.
It's pretty weak though. Look at the keep's health.
Oh, that's true.
Because the torches were being thrown before the big explosion,
yeah,
right?
you're
He had a
right.
lot of torches.
Wow, and
But
he's
this
putting
ram-
a Springald emplacement on here.
Nice.
That's smart.
And they really like fighting over the center middle map, right? It's just
Yeah.
such a key strategic location here. And he looked like he was gonna move the ram forward and attack it, but the Galliasses do so much damage, right? They're just gonna pierce through the ram.
Yeah. You know what? I'm wondering, like, I'm seeing that. Oh, dear. That's a little bit of out of position
Uh-oh.
Springald. Yeah, I'm wondering. Frank's got the sacred site in the north. There's a sacred site in the south, and on this map, I believe there's only 2 sacred sites.
Correct.
I
Yep.
wonder if he's thinking, like, what if he like lands across with a transport and like
Ooh,
fortifies this and goes
sneaky.
for a sacred rim? I mean, it could be an option, right?
Yeah. And it's definitely tough because it's on the enemy side.
Yeah.
So they can attack it a lot easier than you can defend it, but you only need to defend it for 10 minutes with Sacred Victory, and then you just win the game.
Yeah, it's an option. Let's see. I mean, who knows? He's actually still taking sheep right now, but this is kind of critical moment in the game because you got to start making that farm transition. See, he doesn't really have much wood.
Yeah.
And this is a great time to actually switch the guild hall to wood potentially.
Totally.
Currently, it's holding 500 stone, so he could be building a lot more keeps this game. And he's also started to trade, and that's something we've not really discussed too much about. But the French have pretty good traders as
Yeah.
well. They also get to select which resource they want to trade for, which
Very
is
cool.
a really nice, unique bonus. At the moment, he's trading for gold, but he could
Fair
switch
enough.
it to wood or food if he wanted to as well.
And you're talking about that farm transition. He has 35 villagers on
Yeah.
wood now because he realized the food's out
Yeah.
and my people are hungry. And this is really cool. Like we saw he was trading for the stone. So what's like sort of his plan here with the stone and the stables and stuff?
Yeah, so we mentioned it earlier, but the influence of the French keep is that buildings made around it, specifically the stable and the archery range, get reduced cost of units in those buildings. So you can see here it's 25% reduction, but you can improve that with the unique tech enlistment incentives to a 35% reduction to cost, which is kind of the late game scaling for the French.
Yeah,
right? They
strong.
get faster villager production in the early game, but that falls off as you reach your sort of
There's a limit to that, right?
Exactly. And your cheap attacks are nice, but you don't surpass other civs with that. This allows you to get that big late game boost that you need because the French army is quite expensive. Royal Knights aren't cheap,
Totally.
Arbaletiers aren't cheap.
Also pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and Siege isn't cheap either, but doesn't receive the influence.
He's got a nice looking army here too, with a good mix. There's some Springolds in there. There's some Mangonels along with the high Arbaletier counter, but it could be. That looks like it's gonna be kind of dangerous to fight against this army of Mike with all the Nesta bees.
Yeah, I think that's why he's got the Springolds. I mean, there are a lot of Nest of Bees in here. There's
Yeah.
6, and they're the Clock Tower variants, so, he's got to be careful. He's got another demo ship poised and ready. I love that, but he's actually making a switch by the looks of it into cavalry now. Now, this is interesting because, Mike has got a lot of spearmen, but he's placing a lot of stables down here. So I wonder what the game plan is. Do you think he's trying to maybe think about raiding, holding the choke point and trying to raid and get into the eco, or is he making a switch to Royal Knights later on just for the sheer power?
I would say both actually, because it's an excellent raiding unit. Even one knight will kill a villager in usually 3 hits.
That's true.
So you just get one knight in there, and even you can spice a couple of knights throughout the enemy's base, and he's got a lot of hardship to deal with, basically. So, A, there's that, and B, it's just a powerful unit, right? Just like having knights, they do a ton of damage, and as long as he can take care of the spearmen, his knights will be able to reign supreme on the battlefield.
So I like what's going on here. Mike's deploying the clock tower trebuchet, the counterweight. It's currently ranging the keep, and Frank's kind of built a dock here to actually heal up his galleass passively, because boats within the radius of the dock will heal, which is really nice. He's trying to come forward with his springolds as well and snipe that. But look at that. 3 springolds don't quite take out the nest of bees here. And the springold is your anti-siege siege. I wonder, though, as this game goes on, if Frank's thinking about the Imperial Age, maybe he'll go with the College of Artillery so he can make Culverin, which could be interesting.
Yeah, help give him the extra range and advantage. Definitely needs it against all these clock tower springolds.
Yeah, and this is really getting locked down here.
And he hasn't lost any of them. Look, he's just repairing it up with the villagers, and the extra health is just, he's able to take some hits and keep surviving and keep growing his army.
Look at this. Mike is really expanding his economy in the back here. He's got, well, they're farms, but they're actually growing rice when you're playing as
beautiful.
the Chinese.
Yeah, I really like the visual update on that. It's so cool.
And yeah, he's kind of expanding that eco. It doesn't look like he's actually in a dynasty right now. He's kind of maybe waiting for Ming, but at the moment he's just really focusing on building up his siege and making the most of that.
Ooh, there's an interesting fight here. The galleass against the... Oh, those cannons are doing... Oh no, look, the torches. Run away. Paddle quick. Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, and more demos are coming in. I think Mike learned his lesson.
He's like, oh, not again. I'm not doing that.
Not falling for that one.
Yeah, he focus fired those with the springolds immediately.
And now the springolds are interesting because they actually have decent damage, right, against boats as well.
Yeah.
They really do chunk away at them. And oh my goodness, another demo ship.
Oh no, he blew up a few troops, but pretty good overall.
Yeah. Galleass
He's really trying to kill those springolds, right? That's a lot of torches. They both ran away. It was like, let's not fight anymore. Let's just be friends.
Who's winning out here, though? I mean, it's going to be so hard to push into the nest of bees.
Oh, God. Oh.
That's so
brutal.
Painful. So painful.
That's a lot of dead arbaleteers. Oh.
But what I love about this...
And the keep. Oh, the keep goes down.
You're right. And what I gotta say, what I love about this is just that these trebuchets really forced this, right? They really used the range of the trebuchet to force this. Frank had to go to Mike here.
Yep.
And now he's on the back foot here after taking pretty heavy losses as he pushed in.
Yeah, that was painful. He lost both the boats, right? He's got no more naval there. They were doing a really good job of holding down that choke point as well. Like they hit really hard. They do a lot of damage.
And Mike's just like, yep, that's a pretty good spot for a keep.
I'm gonna claim this land actually for my own. I'm taking over.
This is brilliant. I'm loving this. And he's, like I say, gonna build that keep so much faster as well.
Yeah.
He's also made a switch into some archers, which, you know, I don't know how I feel about that. Against the Arbaletrier, they're not as good because the Pavis obviously gives them the ranged armor.
Yeah,
but,
totally.
Yeah,
and then he knows he's playing against French, and that there's gonna be cavalry, right? So archers do not do well against cavalry, so
no, absolutely
kind of an interesting decision on the archers, but it does. They were sort of playing like a ranged game where no one really wanted to engage with melee troops, so just having some extra range damage is always good.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other side, we see Mike actually throwing down a lot of stables now. He's actually going into horsemen and doing the veteran tech. So I think the plan for Mike will be to maybe hold the choke point and do some raiding, as we spoke about earlier.
Totally.
I thought it might be Frank doing the raiding, but it looks like it's going to be Mike here as he drops down another key. And he's doing boiling oil, so anything that runs past these will be taking a lot of damage from the oil. As Frank actually reaches the Imperial Age. Which landmark did he go up with? I'm just trying to find it right now.
He's got 4 relics.
Oh, wow, that's really nice.
Well done.
Fantastic. Where's his Age 4 landmark? There it is. It's the College of Artillery.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
This is awesome. So this is one of the... obviously one of the 2 landmarks, but it allows them to make the royal cannons, the royal revolticans, and the royal culverins.
And what does royal mean?
Well, if you're the French, you get a lot of royal stuff.
Yeah.
The College of Artillery, though, allows them to make all the siege immediately upon reaching the Imperial Age, but it gives them 20% more damage. And, of course, it gives them access to the Culverin, which is the extremely long-range, very effective anti-siege siege. It's a bit better than the Springald. By a bit better, I mean a lot better.
Hard. Plus 204 versus siege.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what you need against the Clock Tower siege, though, right? It
Yeah.
has 50% more health, so it's the perfect answer. But this is scary. This is really scary. Mike has
Triple
3
heap.
heaps. He's got a ton of siege back here. He's got the Trebs in the
just
back.
wailing.
Frank's feeling probably pretty
Feeling
on edge right now.
constricted, yeah. This is a tough situation, definitely.
The Culverins, though, I wonder if the Culverins will be able to push this back. And if not just the Culverins, but also the Bombards.
The demo ship, is it gonna blow up? Is it gonna blow up? Is it gonna get killed?
I don't think he's noticed.
No, I don't think so
What
either.
if Mike actually torches this by mistake, and then it blows up and kills
He's
all
hitting
of his
it.
units?
He's hitting
Is that
it.
gonna happen? I mean, he kind of doesn't want the repair from the dock. There we go. Oh man, I love it.
Those
Okay,
demo ships are so good.
we got veteran horsemen out. I mean, Frank's losing military production buildings.
A lot.
Right?
He
Like,
lost a second keep.
He's gonna have to rebuild these somewhere.
This is, because like you're saying, right, with the influence area, he's gonna have to pay more for his troops if he doesn't have that, he's losing all these keeps around here.
Yeah, totally. And he's actually got very few military production buildings. He's trying to rebuild
Yeah,
them
look,
in
he's
the back.
rebuilding them not next to a keep, right? That's a lot of lost resources.
But I have to say, he's an age ahead of Mike, so he's able to do the elite tech now. He's actually using the monks to heal up his horsemen.
They
as
already
well.
got all the relics,
Yeah.
so put them to work, right?
And this could be really good for him because he could actually try and get in here and kill these archers, which the horsemen are really effective at. And he's got the Culverins, which is great to stall and slow Mike down. And in the south, he is actually capturing the sacred site.
Oh, nice. And he's got a keep there,
Yeah.
so it's defended. Yeah, he built a monastery just so he didn't have to worry about transporting over. Nice.
So this is really awesome right now as he comes in. Deploy the Pavis, man.
Do it.
Pavis down.
So he's got the Culverins fighting the Springolds. But look how many
So
Springolds.
many
Look how many
Springolds.
Springolds.
My
He's got to back
goodness.
up. He's got to repair.
Wow, he's got like what is that, like 8 or 9 Springolds
That was
there?
a lot of Springolds.
Yes, but look at the damage from the horsemen. They actually wiped the archers here.
Yeah, and they killed some of the nest of bees too, I think, right? There's only 2 bees left there?
Yeah, and Frank now kind of microing back with his Culverin using
Yeah.
the extended range.
Yep.
And he's actually starting to pick off
Oh,
the
there goes
Springolds
another
as
one.
well.
Yep.
I mean, this is going to be hard for Frank to push into normally.
Yeah, he did lose. He had a cannon. Right?
Yeah.
He had a cannon up there, and that got killed.
But that's all he needs to do now, right? Make the
Oh,
cannon.
look, he's picking off more. He killed another nest of bees. They walked forward too far, and the Springolds got it. Or, sorry, the Culverins.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually going to be a really good hold for Frank, I think. I mean, how does Mike push into the Culverin right now? I think he needs to get in there with some cav or something.
That's a perfect answer, actually. We scrolled north and there it was.
And we say cav, I mean, this isn't just any cavalry. This is Fire Lancer.
Yeah.
He's actually gone for the dynasty.
Nice. Okay, so that means, yep, he's built the Imperial Palace. So that's the second landmark in the castle age. And Imperial Palace is pretty cool for a couple reasons. It has a huge line of sight, and it also has this ability you can activate that lets you see all of the enemy villagers.
Look at that. He can see all the way across the river
Yeah,
with that
he can see
thing.
what's
Yeah.
going on. Very nice. You can see the enemy docks, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, with Imperial Spies, you activate it, and then for a couple seconds, it reveals all of the enemy villagers for you. So you know exactly where to go to raid, you know what they're up to and what they're trying to produce and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really cool landmark.
And he's got Fire Lancers as well, which is the light cavalry, one of the lead units for the Chinese.
Yeah, and the cool thing, whoa, he just pasted that cannon.
Whoa, I mean, fire, it's in the name,
Woo!
right?
There,
It's in the
yeah,
name.
there's fire, like, of course. Oh, is
and
he going for
more.
the Culverins?
He's just gonna snipe them out.
Oh,
like,
they can't run away. There's nothing they can do. Oh, he's going for the last one. Uh-oh.
Brutal.
Uh-oh. So the Fire Lancer's special thing is having really strong torches, which means that they kill buildings quickly, and also they use their torches on siege weapons, as everything does in this game. So they kill the siege weapons very quickly. So that was a devastating blow, because those Culverins were killing a lot of units. And you can see this little fiery explosion when they attack as well. So they have a charge attack that does an AoE.
Well, it's actually, I mean, the fire lance is a real weapon from history, right? Like this,
Yeah.
you can see it here. It's actually got like a firework attached to the end that
so
like
cool.
propels it forward. It's awesome. And they're really, they make a really big like charge impact, but they don't have a lot of like staying power.
Yeah, they have like
quite-
less hit points than normal cavalry, so they're weaker in that way, but when you get them in the right position on siege weapons, they paste.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering what's happening down here. How has Frank not captured this? Do you think this villager was a monk?
I
or
thought it
something?
was! I
Like-
thought it was! It's disguised.
I thought he captured this earlier, but I guess
No,
not.
that's the villager
Yeah.
that's been there the whole time.
And now Mike's pushing in. I wonder, maybe Frank's big mistake here is
Fire
actually being-
Lancers!
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, look how much damage they took! Oh, those Fire Lancers doing so good. And now he's got also the fire from the keep attacking these wounded
Gonna rip
horsemen.
Baltican out.
Oh, the Fire Lancers, no!
I mean, the Rebaldican, not really the best unit for the job here. Certainly better against infantry than Cav. But if Frank can just like defend his Culverin, I mean that's the big if. I don't know if he can at this rate.
He wasn't ready for the Fire Lancer.
Yeah.
Like he needed to have spearmen to deal with them, really.
That was a great switch from Mike.
Yeah,
Really good
very
switch.
cool.
And I wonder if Frank's mistake, I was going to say this before, it's like he didn't capture this. He never put the pressure on Mike to respond to this.
Yeah, yeah.
And now Mike's really made some great progress in towards Frank's base, and he's starting to lose his landmarks now. This could actually just be a landmark victory. He's losing his town center,
Yeah,
his college
yeah.
of artillery is here, and his guild hall is over here.
He never repaired that school of cavalry from the beginning of the game because it costs a lot of wood to repair it, right?
Yeah.
It's not cheap, so he just decided to do other things instead.
Yeah, actually the landmarks, they do cost wood to repair, so if you want to repair them all four, like all three, it's going to cost you a lot. Frank
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot.
Yeah. And we saw earlier, right? He was trying to build farms, so he had no wood. So I think he's just kind of been pretty short on wood, and also making all the siege equipment is very wood intensive, right?
Yeah. And now he's getting raided in the north. He's lost his gold access there, although
Oh.
I mean, no,
Not really a problem right now.
But
Well-
losing the villages is a problem.
Yeah.
And getting thrown into disarray is a problem as well.
Being in chaos
Yes.
is a slight problem, actually. What's his guild hall at right now? I'm wondering.
It's on food actually, and that's fair. I mean, he has got a lot of food gatherers, but he's hurting for food right now. He's trying to spend it on the Royal Knights. He doesn't have the elite upgrade at the moment. It could be in queue somewhere, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, he doesn't really have
Yeah.
the food for it, and he just lost his town center landmark as well. So he's got.
1, 2, 3 dead landmarks here, and the Trebs should just start focusing on the guild hall.
Oh
for
look,
the
he's
W
going with
now.
the Fire Lancers. They're all running right for it. He knows.
That's
He's
huge.
going for the throat, and what are you gonna stop him with, right?
He's got nothing,
Horsemen
nothing
are
left.
like a raiding unit, right? They're not gonna kill him very quickly.
and that's it.
Down it goes.
GG.
Good game.
Wow, that was fantastic. I love how creative
Yeah.
they were with this game, fighting over the middle. Like, obviously the most hotly contested area of the map, but the way that they approached that, using the ships, using the nest of bees, ranging with the Trebs, putting the landmarks there,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Oh my gosh, that was a really fun, cool match. I'm glad we got this Mongolian Heights map,
Yeah.
and also a lot of sheep is another standout feature. So yeah, very fun map, lots of cool stuff going on. Epic match.
Epic match. All right, well, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll have the Q&A right after this, and if you're watching on YouTube, stay tuned. We've got another one coming up next week.
Right on. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.